Commander Vexka stood on the bridge of his ship, watching the blue and green planet slowly spin below them. Earth looked so peaceful from space, but the radio signals his crew picked up told a different story. The humans were angry with each other. They were building weapons that could destroy their whole world. The communication device on his arm buzzed with an urgent message. It was from the Galactic Council, the group that made rules for all alien races in their part of space. Vexka touched the device and listened to the message. His large black eyes grew wider as he heard the words. All ships must stay away from Earth, the message said. Protocol 7 is in effect. No contact with humans until they can travel between stars on their own. Any ship that breaks this rule will face punishment. Vexka turned to look at his science officer, Thane Rue. She was tall and blue like him, but she had 4 arms instead of 2. She was studying data on her screen, and her face looked worried. Commander, Thane Rue said, the humans might destroy themselves before they learn to travel in space. Their governments are very close to using nuclear weapons against each other. If they start a war, billions will die. Vexka felt his heart beat faster. He had been watching Earth for months now. The humans were strange but interesting. They made beautiful music and art. They cared for their sick and old. They were not like the cold, rule-following people of his own world. What does the law say we should do? Asked Plixno, the ship's engineer. He was shorter than the others, with green skin and 6 arms that were very good at fixing things. The law says we do nothing, Vexka replied. We watch them die and then report what happened. The bridge became quiet. The crew looked at each other, but no one spoke. They all knew what their commander was thinking. Vexka had always been different from other Zephyrian officers. He asked questions when others just followed orders. He cared about right and wrong, not just rules. Dr. Yensa, the ship's doctor, walked onto the bridge. She moved carefully on her long, thin legs. Her white skin was marked with purple spots that showed she was thinking hard about something. Commander, she said, I have been studying human medicine through their internet signals. These people are amazing. They help strangers without asking for anything back. They risk their lives to save others, even people they do not know. How can we let such a species die? Security Chief Dralve, a large alien with thick gray skin and muscles like rocks, shook his head. The council made the rules for good reasons. Young races are dangerous. They fight too much. They might hurt us if we contact them. But what? If we are wrong about them? Asked Kritu, the communications officer. She was the youngest of the crew, with bright yellow skin and big eyes full of curiosity. What if humans could be our friends instead of our enemies? Vexka walked to the big window that showed Earth below. The planet was so beautiful, with white clouds moving over blue oceans and brown land. He could see the lights of human cities. On the dark side of the world, each light meant families, children, people with hopes and dreams. Show me the latest reports, Vexka said to Thane Rue. The science officer put the information on the main screen. It showed maps of Earth with red danger zones marked all over them. Numbers and charts filled the screen, but the message was simple and scary. 2 major human governments are preparing for war, Thane Rue explained. Our computers say there is an 80% chance they will use nuclear weapons within the next 10 days. Once they start, other nations will join the fight. The war could kill half of all humans and make their planet unable to support life. Vexka closed his eyes and thought about his own world, Zephyr Prime. It was a cold place where everyone followed rules and no one asked questions. People lived long lives, but they did not really live. They just existed. The humans below were so different. They felt things deeply. They loved and hated and hoped and feared. They were alive in a way his people had forgotten how to be. The council says humans are too violent, Vexka said slowly. But maybe they fight because they care so much. Maybe their strong feelings make them dangerous, but also make them special. Plixno looked up from his control panel. Commander, if we go down to Earth, our quantum drive might have problems. Their planet has a strange electromagnetic field that our old star maps did not warn us about. The ship could be damaged. And if the council finds out we made contact, Dralve added, we will all be put in prison. They might also punish Earth, by putting up a barrier around their whole solar system. No one would ever be able to leave or enter. Vexka looked at each member of his crew. They were good people who had served with him for many years. He did not want to ask them to risk their lives and freedom, but he also could not stand by and watch while an entire world died. "I am going to break Protocol 7, he said finally. "I am going to try to contact the humans and warn them about what will happen if they start this war. Anyone who wants to leave can take an escape pod back to Council Space. I will not think less of anyone who chooses to go." The crew looked at each other. Then, one by one, they turned back to their stations and began preparing for the descent to Earth. "Well," said Thainru with something that might have been a smile, "I always wanted to see what would happen if someone actually broke the rules." Vexka felt proud of his crew, but also scared. They were about to do something that had never been done before. They were going to make contact with humans, and nobody knew what would happen next. The ship turned toward Earth and began to descend through the atmosphere. The alien ship shook as it fell through Earth's sky. Sparks flew from broken control panels and warning lights flashed red all over the bridge. Plixno worked fast with all 6 of his arms trying to fix the damage, but it was too late. "We are going to crash," he shouted over the noise of alarms. "The electromagnetic field around this planet is much stronger than our old maps showed. It is destroying our quantum drive." Vexka held tight to his chair as the ship spun out of control. Through the main window he could see green forests and mountains getting closer very fast. "Everyone hold on! Try to find a place with no humans!" The ship hit the tops of tall pine trees and crashed through them like they were small sticks. Metal screamed against wood and rock as the vessel slid down a mountain slope and finally stopped, in a clearing deep in the Oregon forest. Smoke rose from the broken engines and strange blue energy crackled around the damaged quantum core. For a few minutes, everything was quiet, except for the sound of settling metal and dripping fluids. Then Vexka opened his eyes and looked around. His crew was hurt but alive. Thainru had a cut on her forehead that leaked purple blood. Dralve was holding his arm and Yensa was checking everyone for serious injuries. "Is anyone badly hurt?" Vexka asked. "We will live," Yensa said, "but our ship will not. The quantum core is damaged. If we cannot fix it soon, it will explode, with enough force to destroy everything for many miles." Before anyone could answer, they heard voices outside. Human voices. Vexka looked at the security cameras and saw 2 people in green uniforms walking toward their ship. One was a tall man, with brown hair and kind eyes. The other was a woman with red hair who carried some kind of radio device. "Forest Rangers," Kritu said, reading the words on their uniforms with her translation device. "They take care of the wilderness areas on this planet." The man, whose name was Jake Miller, stopped when he saw the crashed ship. His mouth opened wide with surprise. The woman, Lisa Brown, dropped her radio and just stared. "Well," Jake said slowly, "that is definitely not a normal airplane." Vexcom made a decision that would change everything. He walked to the ship's door and opened it. The 2 humans stepped back, but they did not run away. Jake put his hand near, the weapon on his belt, but he did not draw it. "Please do not be afraid," Vexka said in English thanks to his translation device. "We are not here to hurt anyone. Our ship is broken and we need help." Lisa looked at Jake, then back at the tall blue alien standing in front of them. "You can talk," she said, sounding amazed. "Yes, we can talk," Vexka replied. "We have been listening to your radio and television signals for months. We learned your language. My name is Vexka, and these are my friends." The other aliens came out of the ship slowly. Jake and Lisa watched as the strange crew gathered around their commander. They saw Thainru with her 4 arms, Plixno with his green skin and many hands, Dr. Yensa with her long legs and spotted skin, Kritu with her bright yellow color, and Dralve, who looked like he could lift a truck. "Why are you here?" Jake asked. He seemed scared but also curious. "We came to warn you," Vexka said. "Your people are about to start a war that will kill most of your species. We wanted to stop that from happening." Lisa laughed, but it was not a happy sound. "You might be too late. The news this morning said that 3 countries are getting ready to use nuclear weapons. Everyone is scared." Thainru stepped forward. "That is exactly why we came. We have been watching your world for a long time. Humans are special. You make beautiful things. You care for each other in ways our people do not. We could not let you destroy yourselves. Jake looked at the damaged ship and the strange blue energy coming from its engines. How badly is your ship broken? Plixno answered. Very badly. The quantum core that makes our ship work is falling apart. If it explodes, it will make a hole in the ground 5 miles wide. We have maybe 3 days to fix it or get far away from here. But if we leave, Vexka added, our government will punish us and put a barrier around your whole solar system. No one will ever be able to leave Earth or come here again. Lisa used her radio to call her supervisor. Chief, we have a situation out here. I need you to cancel all the search teams and keep everyone away from Sector 7. And I need you to contact Dr. Helen Carter at the university. Tell her we found something she needs to see. Jake looked confused. Helen, the scientist who studies aliens? She always said that if we ever met real aliens, we should not let the military get them first, Lisa explained. She said the government would lock them up and try to use their technology as weapons. Dr. Carter arrived 6 hours later in an old Jeep, driving as fast as she could on the forest roads. She was a woman in her 50s with gray hair and excited, eyes behind thick glasses. When she saw the aliens, she almost cried with joy. This is the most important day in human history, she said, shaking hands with each alien. We have so much to learn from each other. But their happiness did not last long. Cree-2 picked up radio signals from military aircraft searching the area. Colonel Rick Stone had detected the energy from their crash and was sending teams to find the source. We need to move, Dr. Carter said. I know a place where we can hide while we figure out how to fix your ship. As they gathered their equipment and prepared to leave, Vexka realized that breaking protocol had already changed. Everything. They were no longer just observers watching from space. They were part of Earth now, and Earth was part of them. Dr. Helen Carter led them through dark forest paths to an old mining camp hidden deep in the mountains. The place had been empty for 20 years, but the buildings were still strong. Jake and Lisa helped move the aliens and their equipment while military helicopters searched the valleys below them. This should keep us safe for a while, Dr. Carter said as they set up the alien technology in the main building. But we need to fix your ship fast. How much time do we have? Plixno looked at his damaged instruments. 2 days, maybe less. The quantum core is getting worse every hour. When it fails, the explosion will be like 100 nuclear bombs going off at the same time. Dr. Carter called her friend Dr. Alex Kim, who knew more about quantum physics than anyone else in the state. Alex, I need you to come to the old Copper Creek mine right away. Bring all your equipment and do not tell anyone where you are going. Helen, what is this about? Dr. Kim asked over the phone. Just trust me. This is bigger than anything we see have ever worked on. While they waited for Dr. Kim to arrive, the aliens began to learn about human life. Lisa showed them how to eat human food. Thane Rue loved chocolate and coffee, while Dralvi preferred simple bread and water. Cree-2 was fascinated by human music and spent hours listening to everything from classical to rock songs. Your people express emotions through sound in ways we never learned, Cree-2 told Lisa. On our world, we only use music for religious ceremonies, but humans use it for love, sadness, anger, and joy. It is beautiful. Dr. Yensa worked with Dr. Carter to understand human medicine. She was amazed that humans could heal from injuries that would kill most aliens. Your bodies are much stronger than they look, she said. And your minds can help your bodies heal faster when you want to get better. Jake taught Dralvi about taking care of forests and animals. The big alien was surprised to learn that humans work to protect nature instead of just using it up. On most worlds, Dralvi said, people take everything they can and leave nothing for the future. But you try to keep things alive for your children. When Dr. Kim arrived and saw the aliens, he sat down hard on a chair and stared for 5 minutes without speaking. Finally, he said, Okay, I believe it now. What do you need me to do? Plixno showed Dr. Kim the quantum drive technology. The human scientist looked at the alien machines and started asking questions faster than the translator could keep up. Soon both of them were working together. pointing at diagrams and arguing about quantum physics in ways that made everyone else's head hurt. "This is incredible," Dr. Kim said after studying the alien technology for hours. "You use quantum energy in ways we never thought of. But some of your methods are actually less efficient than what we do on Earth." "What do you mean?" Plixno asked. "Look at this power coupling. You make it from one piece of metal, but we learned to make them from layers of different materials. It makes them stronger and more flexible. And your computer chips are amazing, but our manufacturing methods could make them smaller and faster." Plixno stared at the human technology Dr. Kim showed him. "Your people discovered these techniques on your own, without help from other species?" "We had to," Dr. Kim said with a smile. "We did not have anyone to teach us, so we learned by making mistakes and trying again." This gave them hope. If human and alien technology could work together, maybe they could fix the quantum core after all. But they needed more help. Dr. Carter called Tony Rodriguez, a mechanic who worked on experimental engines for the university. Tony had fixed things that other people said could not be repaired. Tony arrived the next morning with a truck full of tools and materials. When he saw the aliens, he just nodded like meeting people from other planets was normal. "So you need an engine fixed?" he asked. "Let me take a look." Within an hour, Tony and Plixno were working together like they had known each other for years. Tony showed the alien how humans used simple tools to solve complex problems, while Plixno taught Tony about energy systems that seemed impossible. "You know what I think?" Tony said as they worked on the quantum core. "I think your people are too smart for your own good. You make everything complicated when simple solutions work better." Meanwhile, the military search was getting closer. Colonel Rick Stone had traced the energy signals to the general area and was sending ground teams to search every building and cave in the mountains. Lisa used her ranger radio to listen to their communications and warn the group when soldiers got too close. But Colonel Stone was smarter than they hoped. He realized that someone was helping the aliens, and that the someone probably worked for the Forest Service. On the second evening, he came to the mining camp alone without his soldiers. "I know you are in there," he called out. "I am Colonel Rick Stone, United States Air Force. I want to talk." Everyone froze. They had weapons from the alien ship, but none of them wanted to fight. After a long moment, Dr. Carter made a decision that surprised everyone. She walked outside and faced the colonel. "What do you want?" she asked. "I want to know what crashed in my forest," Colonel Stone said. "And I want to know why forest rangers and university professors are hiding it from the military." Dr. Carter looked back at the building where her friends, both human and alien, were waiting. Then she looked at the colonel and made the biggest choice of her life. "Come inside," she said. "But promise me you will listen to the whole story before you decide what to do." Colonel Stone followed Dr. Carter into the old mining building. His hand stayed near his weapon, but his eyes showed curiosity more than fear. When he saw the aliens working with Tony and Dr. Kim on the strange quantum machine, he stopped walking and stared. "Holy Mother of God," he whispered. "They are real." Vexka stood up slowly and faced the military officer. "Colonel Stone, we mean no harm to your people. We came here to help prevent a war that would destroy your world." "A war?" Stone asked. "What war?" Dr. Carter explained everything while the aliens continued working on their damaged engine. She told Stone about the nuclear crisis, the broken protocol, and the quantum core that might explode at any moment. The colonel listened without speaking, his face getting more serious with every word. "You broke your own laws to save us?" Stone asked Vexka. "Yes," the alien commander replied. "We could not stand by and watch your species die. You're too special for that." Colonel Stone looked around at the mixed group of humans and aliens working together. Tony was teaching Plixno how to use Earth tools while the alien showed Tony energy patterns that seemed like magic. Dr. Kim and Thane Rue were solving physics problems on a whiteboard, mixing human math with alien science. "Sir," Stone said to Vexka, "I have spent my whole career preparing to fight aliens if they ever came to Earth. I never thought I would be worried about protecting them instead." Before anyone could answer, alarms started beeping on the alien equipment. Kritu looked at her instruments and her yellow skin turned pale. "Commander, I am receiving a signal from space. A Confederation ship is coming." "How long do we have?" Vexka asked. "They will be here in 6 hours," Kritu replied. "It is Captain Morlex commanding the battle cruiser Iron Judgment. He is known for following orders exactly, no matter what." Dr. Carter felt her heart sink. "What will they do when they get here?" "They will arrest us for breaking protocol," Vexka explained. "Then they will use memory erasers on all humans who had contact with us. You will forget we ever existed. After that, they will put up an energy barrier around your entire solar system. No one will ever be able to leave Earth or come here again." "Like a prison," Jake said quietly. "Exactly like a prison," Thane Rue agreed. "Your whole species will be trapped forever because we tried to help you." Colonel Stone walked to the window and looked up at the sky. "How big is this ship that is coming?" "Much bigger than ours," Dralve answered. "It carries 300 soldiers and enough weapons to destroy a city." "Well," Stone said, turning back to the group, "then we better get ready to fight." Everyone stared at him. Dr. Carter spoke first. "Rick, you cannot fight a spaceship with Earth weapons." "Maybe not," the colonel replied, "but I am not going to let them erase your memories and lock up our planet without a fight. These aliens risked everything to help us. The least we can do is help them back." Tony looked up from the quantum core he was working on. "Actually, we might have a chance. Plixno and I figured out how to mix alien and human technology. The engine is not just fixed now. It is better than it was before." "Better how?" Vexka asked. "Faster, more efficient, and more powerful," Plixno explained, sounding excited. "Human engineering methods made our quantum drive twice as strong. We never thought of building things the way humans do." Dr. Kim added. "And we learned something else interesting. Earth's electromagnetic field that damaged your ship, we can use it as a weapon. If we modify your shields the right way, we can turn the planet's natural energy into a defense system." Captain Morlex's ship appeared in the sky just as the sun was setting. It was huge and dark, shaped like a knife cutting through the clouds. The alien captain sent a message to Vexka's crew on all frequencies. "This is Captain Morlex of the Galactic Confederation. Commander Vexka, you and your crew will surrender immediately. All humans who have had contact with you will report for memory adjustment. Refusal to comply will result in military action." Vexka picked up the radio and answered, "Captain Morlex, we request asylum on Earth. We will not return to face imprisonment for doing what was right." "There is no asylum for protocol breakers," Morlex replied coldly. "You have contaminated a primitive species and violated the most important law of the Confederation. Surrender now or we will take you by force." Colonel Stone grabbed the radio. "Captain Morlex, this is Colonel Rick Stone of the United States Air Force. You are in Earth's airspace without permission. Leave now or face the consequences." Morlex laughed. "Primitive humans cannot threaten a Confederation battlecruiser. We have weapons that can destroy your entire continent." "Maybe," Stone replied, "but you have never fought humans before. We are very good at protecting our friends." The battlecruiser began to power up its weapons, preparing to attack the mining camp. But Tony and Plixno had been busy. They activated their modified defense system just as the alien ship fired its first energy beam. Something amazing happened. Instead of destroying the camp, the alien weapon hit the modified shield and bounced back toward the battlecruiser. Earth's electromagnetic field, guided by human engineering and alien science, turned the planet itself into a weapon. Morlex's ship rocked from the impact of its own weapon. Alarms blared on the bridge as the captain realized that these primitive humans had done something impossible. They had turned Confederation technology against a Confederation ship. "Impossible," Morlex said over the radio. "Humans do not have this kind of technology." "We do now," Colonel Stone replied. "And we are just getting started." Captain Morlex's ship hung in the sky like a wounded bird. Smoke came from its engines and its weapons were offline. Inside the mining camp, humans and aliens watched their instruments with amazement. Their combined technology had actually worked. "Captain," Morlex's communication officer reported, "our weapons are reflecting back at us every time we fire. The planet's magnetic field has been turned into some kind of shield. This should be impossible with primitive human technology." Morlex stared at the readings on his screen. In 300 years of military service, he had never seen anything like this. "Get me a direct line to the surface," he ordered. Down in the camp, Vexka answered the call. "Yes, Captain?" "How did humans learn to do this?" Morlex asked. His voice sounded confused and angry. "They did not learn it from us," Vexka replied. "We learned it from them. Human engineers think about problems in ways we never considered. They make simple solutions work better than our complex ones." Dr. Kim stepped forward and took the radio. "Captain Morlex, this is Dr. Alex Kim. I am a human scientist. Your technology is very advanced, but it has one big problem. You never learn to adapt and change. Humans are very good at taking old ideas and making them better. Humans are supposed to be primitive," Morlex said. "We are primitive in some ways," Tony added, grabbing the radio from Dr. Kim. "We do not have faster-than-light travel or energy, weapons, but we know how to fix things that other people say cannot be fixed. We know how to make something work even when it should not." Colonel Stone contacted his superiors and explained the situation. Within hours, the President of the United States was on a secure phone line, talking directly to alien beings for the first time in human history. "Commander Vexka," the President said, "on behalf of the people of Earth, we offer you and your crew political asylum. You tried to save our world, and now we will protect you." "But sir," one of the President's advisors whispered, "we do not know anything about interstellar law." "Then we will learn," the President replied. "These aliens risked everything to help us. We are not going to abandon them now." Captain Morlex tried to land soldiers near the mining camp, but every time his ships got close to the surface, Earth's modified magnetic field pushed them away. The human-alien technology made the whole planet into a fortress that Confederation weapons could not penetrate. "This is ridiculous," Morlex said to his crew. 6 primitive humans and a group of protocol breakers have stopped an entire battle cruiser." "Sir," his science officer said quietly, "maybe they are not as primitive as we thought." After 3 days of trying to break through Earth's defenses, Morlex received new orders from the Galactic Council. Other alien races had been watching the conflict and were asking questions. How could humans develop such advanced technology so quickly? What other surprises might this young species have? The Council ordered Morlex to negotiate instead of fight. For the first time in Confederation history, they wanted to talk to a species that had not yet developed space travel. The negotiations took place in the mining camp, with Dr. Carter serving as Earth's first alien diplomat. She sat across from Captain Morlex and 2 Council representatives who had flown down from the battle cruiser. "The Confederation has never given asylum to protocol breakers," Morlex said. "If we allow this, other aliens might break our laws, too." "Maybe your laws need to be changed," Dr. Carter replied. "Commander Vexka and his crew saved our world from a nuclear war. They are heroes, not criminals." One of the Council representatives, an old alien with silver skin and wise eyes, leaned forward. "Dr. Carter, what do humans want from this situation?" "We want our friends to be safe," she answered. "We want to learn from each other. And we want the freedom to choose our own future, not have it decided by people who live far away and do not know us." The negotiations continued for days. During that time, more amazing things happened. Thainru and Lisa created the first human-alien art project, mixing human music with alien light patterns. Dr. Yensa worked with human doctors to cure diseases that had puzzled Earth scientists for years. Tony and Plixno built new machines that could clean pollution from the air and water. "Look what they accomplish when they work together," the silver-skinned council member said to Morlex. "Perhaps we have been wrong about young species." The final agreement surprised everyone. The Galactic Council officially granted asylum to Vexka's crew, making them the first aliens ever to become Earth citizens. In exchange, Earth would share its engineering methods with the Confederation, and the Confederation would share scientific knowledge with Earth. Protocol 7 was changed. Instead of keeping young species isolated, the new law allowed limited contact when it might prevent the species from destroying itself. Earth became the first test case for this new policy. 6 months later, Jake Miller stood on a hill overlooking the first human-alien settlement. The mining camp had grown into a small town where people from two worlds lived and worked together. Children from both species played in the streets, learning each other's languages and customs. Hard to believe it all started with a crash landing, Lisa said, walking up beside him. Best crash landing in history, Jake replied with a smile. Dr. Carter had become Earth's ambassador to the Galactic Confederation. Tony and Plixno ran a company that built impossible machines. Colonel Stone commanded the new Joint Defense Force that protected both humans and aliens. And Vexka, the alien who broke protocol to save a world, became the first non-human citizen of Earth and the first director of the Interspecies Cooperation Center. Sometimes breaking the rules led to something better than anyone could have imagined.